Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, before I get into the intro on this, I just want to give you a heads up. I had 3 short clips about midway in this video that don't have any audio. They're short, probably less than a minute each, and they're all back to back. I think I just forgot to turn my little receiver transmitter, my transmitter on. And but anyhow, the audio comes back right after that, and you can watch the rest of the video. So just a heads up on that. Thank you very much. Let's get into the intro. Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we've got the 360 Yamaha cylinder set up in the milling machine here, and we're going to start the bore on it. I think it's going to go to third over, but I do have a second over, so we'll see first there. But I really think it's going to have to go to third. It's pretty kind of egg shaped, so we can handle it either way, I think. But we're going to take our first cut. I've already got it all set up. You've seen the setup procedure several times. So today it's set up, it's ready to go, and we're ready to take the first bore. I'll get you down here so you can see what it looks like before we start. Okay, there's no real scoring or anything in this one. It just is wore out. This one was running very good. It's wore out. So we're going to go to the next size, and hopefully that'll fix it up. I know it will. And just a little peek from the other side. Now I've got a different boring head today. Let me show you that. Okay, this is a 3-inch boring head, and it's got a similar but different boring attachment or tooling. And another thing on this one is, you've seen me do this before. I think I explained it. The cylinder, first of all, the ram here on our milling machine is 5 inches. I have 5 inches of travel, and the cylinder measures 5 3/4. So when I get down to the end of the 5 inches, what I'll do is I'll raise the knee 3/4 of an inch and do the same thing with the spindle at that point. Actually, I'll do that in reverse. I'll bring the spindle up 3/4 of an inch, then I'll raise the knee, and then we'll proceed with the automatic feed. And when it gets to the bottom, then of course it's bored all the way. But it takes a little longer, but that's how you've got to do it on these longer cylinders. So let me make sure I've got everything zeroed out and set up here, and we'll start the bore. I think we're good to go here. There's an extra wear intake and exhaust side, and that's normal, but this one, since it's a bigger bore, it shows up worse. So you can hear it hit on the sides. But nothing here and nothing here. So it's definitely egg shaped. So we'll be taking all that out, and hopefully we can get 50 over, because it's already at 25. But I'm almost positive it's going to have to go 75. I'm going to back you out just a little bit here until I can get to my lever up here. Here it starts. And at the top, at least, it's going to be all in the sides mostly. So pretty soon here you'll see a pattern emerge. It's getting into the worn area now. We may have to raise it up and give it a little more cut. I just kind of like to see the pattern as it goes down, and then see if we're heading in the right direction as far as correcting that. We'll let it run through and just see what it tells us. Looks like it's centered pretty good. It's just interesting to me to see the what, where, and how that the wear shows. Of course, as soon as the boring head goes in, it's just like a 125. Since this is an inch bigger boring head, then you just can't see anything. Okay, we're just about at our 5-inch point. At probably 3/8 of an inch or so to go. Okay, I'm going to use the gauge up here in front to lift up the spindle 3/4 of an inch anytime. There it is. Okay, I've got that raised up to my 4 1/4, and now I'll just bring the knee up and watch my digital readout. Until I'm up at my, there we go. Okay, there she's starting to cut again. This one, the upper gauge I had set at 0 when it started down, so it went to 5, So I raised it to 4 1/4, and then on the knee I raised it 3/4 of an inch on the digital readout. And we're just almost to the end of the cut. It's probably a little more than it needed, but if you end up with a line or something, all you do is just hone it out. You leave an extra thousandths and hone it out. I've always kind of thought maybe I'd have one, but I generally don't. Most of the time, you can't even tell where you finished and started. Okay, I'll set you back a little ways so you can see more of what I'm doing. Okay, I'm coming up on my automatic feed. It's going to quit on me. Then I'm at 5 inches here, so I'm going to back that up to 4 1/4. Right there. And then on my Z axis here, I'll raise this up 3/4 of an inch. There it is. And then we'll start the cut again. Now it starts. There's a little more involved with it, but I've had people ask me what I do if the cylinder is too long. That's what you do. You just have to compensate for it. And like I say, if for some reason there's a little line there or something, it's not going to be a big difference. Just leave you an extra thousandths of material in there to hone out, and the line, you'll never see it. Okay, we're almost at the end of it now. You know, production work, this would not be a good thing probably. Or I'm sure there's some machinists out there that's got better tricks than I got. It takes longer. That's just the way it is. And then we've got to drop back down to 0. Right there. And then we're ready to go again. Okay, I just want to show you what we've done on our first pass. We're cutting here, and we're cutting pretty much all the way around. Well, not quite here, but a little bit at the very top on the right there. And so we're cutting on both sides. A little more at the bottom on this one, and you can actually see it below the exhaust port. We're getting into some. Hopefully you can see without that blinding you. Just barely cutting on the front side. So I just dialed 2 thousandths more in, so it ought to really shape up after this. So I just find it interesting to watch the wear come out. Okay, let's take another 2, and then we'll take a look at it again. Starting to come into the intake here. We're just not going to make the second over. Just too much wear. I really didn't think so, but you always want to hope. Been carrying those pistons around for how many years? We've only taken 6 thousandths out, and I think the piston will go in probably now. It was close to it on the last pass. You always get a lot of excessive wear around the intake and the exhaust port. Just the nature of the beast. Kind of neat watching it disappear there. A little more every time. We're about a ½ inch till we get to the point where it stops and we've got to move it. You're hard pressed to find the line from the last time. It's pretty accurate, it really is. Okay, we've still got quite a bit here and quite a bit at the bottom on the front. Here's our 50 over piston, and it won't quite go in there, but really that's only a couple of thousandths, and you still need to hone to fit. You've got about 2 thousandths. I think the book calls for 1 and 6 or 1 and 8 ten thousandths, something like that. So let me get you off of the stand here, and I'll show you the rest of what we're dealing with. Okay, you can see the exhaust port there, and that's really the only thing there. And it's just the bottom of the intake. You know, really starts right here and kind of goes out to this area and gets a little wider over here and over to this area. You can see a good sharp wear pattern right there. That may have been where a ring is. I don't know. It shouldn't be where the ring is. But I don't know. We're still going to try, but I think that another 2, my piston's probably going to fit in there, and that won't leave me a whole lot to hone, but we'll see. I'll give it a measure and see. Our piston is 3.170. And right now, according to this, we're 2.5 thousandths shy of that. So it's possible it could make it. I'm gonna try it again here, just double check my work. Yeah, it's looking about right. I like to take 3. Yeah, that's telling me I got 2.5 thousandths, and then I have almost 2 thousandths to hone for clearance. So we might just make it. We'll see. I think I'll dial in another 2, and we'll see where that ends up. Okay, let's take another 2 and see what it shows us at the end of that. Well, put it in gear. And there we go. I just don't see it, but it might be very close. See how much of that above the exhaust port we get. So far so good. Well, got a lot more of it than I thought. Just a little up there. Just have to see now how much we get below. And on this other side. Okay, I took 5 more thousandths and I'm clean everywhere except around the intake. But it's cutting below the intake down here. So there's a lot of wash right around it here. I think it's going to come out, but it doesn't. You know, it really won't matter if it doesn't completely anyway, but I think it will. I've got another 5 or 6 thousandths I can take, and I think that'll clean it up. It's just, everywhere else is clean except there. So let's put another 3 in, see where we're at. We were just down to the top of the piston pin there, so we've got plenty to go yet. I'm going to go ahead and take a measurement while I'm here though, just see where we're at. Yeah, we're right on track. I think we'll make it. All right, just almost got her. There's still just a little bit below the intake port, but yet it did take it out from here down. Just this little bit right here, just underneath the boost port. I can't take any more. That's I'm at the same size as a piston right now, so if it comes out, it's going to come out on the hone because I've only got about 2/1000 or so to remove. It'll work okay. It should work fine actually, because you've got support of the bottom of the cylinder there. It just a little bit there that just didn't clean up. But I don't have a bigger piston, and I don't think I'd do it anyway. So we'll just have to go with that. And I'll show you before I pull it out of there. So it'd go through there. It's Mike's out the same size. The bore and the piston are the same size. That's 3.179. So it's just a little bit. The thing should measure 80. If it was another thousandths, it might work. I don't know how much is down there. It may come out on the hone. If it doesn't, no big deal. But we've done the best that we can do. Yeah, I don't know. It's just wash from it running. Alrighty, we'll get that cleaned up and hone it tomorrow. I think we're at about 1/1000 right now on the bottom. 1/1000 clearance. And about the same at the top. Let me grab just a little bit more of it. I think we're almost going to hone that spot out on the intake. It's going to be real close. The kind of clicking you hear once in a while is the guides. They're made of aluminum, and they do occasionally kind of hit the port a little bit, but they're not to the point they're going to break anything. They just kind of make a noise. That's these right here. Here's your stones. I don't usually use guides, but these ports are so big, I've got to. Otherwise, I'll be hanging up in ports all day long. And we've just got to get a couple thousands out of here, so it's not a big deal. Okay, we're at 1 2/10,000ths. And 1 2/10,000ths. And we've got about 1 5/10,000ths. And 1 5/10,000ths. So we need about 1 8 to 2, and I'm probably going to go closer to 2. This being a race bike, you just need that extra little clearance. Just wash it up. We just about took that out. I couldn't believe it. But I'm glad. Okay guys, there's where it wasn't quite cleaned up, and it just almost did with the other about 2/1000ths, 2.5 thousandths probably that I honed out. So I'm real happy with that. See, the bottom from right about here down cleaned up perfectly. It cleaned up in line with everything else. But I just had that little bitty kind of a scalloped area right there, and you can see a little gouge right here. Not really a gouge, just a line. But it was very loose. I'm surprised actually that the piston didn't come unglued and cause a bunch of damage in there. But I'm real happy with how this turned out, and this should not be an issue at all. The piston is going to be well below, or the top of it is going to be right up here at the ports. So it's just about even with the bottom here when it comes out. So that should give it plenty of support there. Just a little little area there that didn't quite clean up. The rest of it, I'm really happy with. Let me get a piece of white paper or something put down there. That kind of helps, so the light is more indirect. But you can see those are just monster ports compared to the littler ones that I've been doing, and I had to go ahead and put my guides in on the hone in order to stay out of them. Especially this boost port over here. But everything honed up well, and I've still got to come in here and do the chamfering. So I'm happy with that. So what do we end up with? Just about 2. And the same on the bottom. So again, I'm happy with that. I just wanted to go on out to 2 on this, being it's the kind of performance motor that it is. I think that 1 and 8/10 thousandths is a little bit close for it. It fits really good. I'm happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and get the chamfering done. Then I'll go ahead and ball hone it like I did on the other one, back and forth just a few times to chamfer the vertical sides of the ports and to plateau hone my hone that's in here. Plateau, it just levels off any of the hills and valleys, just kind of tries to mellow them out, and that way it provides a better finish for the piston. And we've got a ring here. And I've got a good 20 thousandths, or a 0.5 millimeter, and that's on the top end of I think it's 16 to 20, and that's just really a minimum. You need to have at least that. This is good. But these are a little bit more of a bear to deal with than some of the others because they're just so big and heavy. I really don't like honing these on that Sunnen hone. I would prefer to do those with a regular portable hone. A Sunnen hone, a rigid portable hone, but one that you use a drill on and go up and down. I just didn't have a way to really hold this, so I went over there and practiced a little bit, and I thought I could do it okay on that hone, and I just had a couple thousandths to take out, so I was able to do it and didn't have any problems. Other than I just needed to put the shoes in there on the other side of the hone. But there we go. We've got that heading kind of the right direction. We've got a piston. We've got rings. I think I've got all the gaskets, all that stuff. So I just need to kind of finish this up by chamfering the ports, give it a good cleanup, and then we'll go ahead and do a video putting this back together. And I've also got to pull the mag side, the flywheel, rotor, whatever you want to call it, all that off and put a new seal over there. Remember, we did put a new seal on the right side when we went in and put the Kickstarter stuff in. Okay guys, there you have, that's a big boring job there. I had to use some different tools, and I actually had to pick up a different tool, the cutting tool. I didn't have anything that would fit that 3-inch boring head that would work. You've got to actually have some offset so you can get the head into the barrel. If you don't have that offset, then when you offset the boring head, it goes so far over that you can't get it to come down through the cylinder. And of course, it's going to have to be one this size. You know, this was about 3¼ inches or something, a little less than that, I think. And it takes really a minimum of about 3 1/8 to use that boring head. But you know, as the size gets bigger, you know, maybe a 400 and a 500 and all those things, they're bigger. So you know, it's just not as close. I just I don't like it being that close, but there's just nothing you can do about it. You've just got to, you know, pray for the best and move on. But anyhow, this one is done, and that cleaning up as well as it did down there on the intake port was just a bonus, because I really didn't think I was going to get a 1/2 millimeter over to fit or to clean it up, but I had one. I've been carrying that piston around forever, and I was able to find the 75 over piston. I think I got it from Dave out at KDI, and he's got a bunch of stuff out there. If you're looking for anything, he probably has it. But I was happy to find it, because they're not that easy to find anymore. And you know, you can still go to 4th over and probably some a 60 and an 80, I don't know, through a Wiseco. So there's plenty of life left in that cylinder. We didn't take it all, so I'm happy about that. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to some of the people that have supported me, and you know, I support them, I watch them, I give them thumbs up, I give them comments when I can. And you know, not always do I comment, but I always watch and I always give them a thumbs up. And you know, you guys, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, these guys are all doing similar things. It's just you know, it's just a little different. So if you enjoy this content, you should go over and check them out. And you know, I can't give you the links or anything. I could, but I think you can find them if you just look them up on YouTube. You've got Bridgewater Restoration. It's Don over there, and you got Old Guys, Old Bikes. That's Jack. And Johnny Bravo 1, he just finished up a Triumph where it had the spark plugs blown out. He went in, cut that out, made a spacer sleeve, made a sleeve, screwed it into the head, and then threaded it for this new spark plug. Fantastic work he did. You should go over there and take a look at that. That was he's got like maybe 3 videos, maybe 4 on that one, and he did some real good work on that. And then there's John over at Flip Fix, and Greg's Lair, L-A-I-R. Of course, Greg, and he's got some interesting projects over there. Big Mur 725, Murray, he also has got some good projects, and I was talking to him not too long ago, and it sounds like he's getting ready to start up some new stuff. So we'll see on that. And Kane, look him up, K-A-I-N. He just finished his CB175 I had it in here, had the cylinder in here a couple months ago and bored it, twin cylinder. Go check him out. Retro Mechanica, that's Dean over there in the UK. He's always got interesting stuff going on with those two-stroke BSA Bantams. There's quite a few other guys that are working on those Bantams, and I go over and peek at them once in a while, but it's not my normal routine. There's one or two in Australia, New Zealand, and some more in the British Isles over there. And then Chris over at CK Cycles, I think he's kind of taking a little time off, but he's got a lot of good projects going, and I'm sure he'll be back. And I can't forget Kevin Bergeron. He gave me my start, kind of helped me understand how the system works, how to get started with YouTube, and I sure appreciate him. And he did something out of the ordinary here just the other day when he did he found a 4-cylinder Suzuki, I believe it was, KS, that hadn't run for a while and it was stuck. And he got it unstuck and got it to pop. So good for him on that. Go over and check Kevin out if you haven't checked him out in a while. But anyway, give those guys all a look. It's just one big hobby, and everybody's working on something a little bit different, and I think you'll enjoy a lot of their content. So with that said, thanks for going along on the ride, and we'll see you next video.